Wait.
All right.
These rolled up.
We're going live. All right.
Get ready.
Welcome to the Boons and Conditions podcast. This is episode 13, our lucky number. Today's August 28th, 2012, and today's the launch day for Guild Wars 2. We've been waiting for this, some of us for months, some of us for years, but it's very exciting. We still have a crowd on the Twitch chat, which is wonderful, so thank you for everyone who's actually engaging in the chat room. So you guys can always check us on iTunes or check the recording on YouTube. Don't forget to follow each of those, of course. But not that she needs an introduction. So, and this is a line I made up earlier, but it's a co-hostess with the mostest. You like that?
Oh no. Oh, no.
Yes.
So cheesy.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And her name's Luperza.
Returning. Yes, I'm Luperza. I'm the co-host here for Monsieur Failor. Ooh, we're getting all French. And returning with us from episode 10, we have Alpha Collective's team captain, Zamoa.
Raise
Hello.
the roof.
And
face.
we have a new face with us. This is Hein. He's from the team Impossible Odds.
Yo.
And we kind of caught them by watching some of their streams, and we've actually encountered them.
Yes.
Well, Alpha Collective has,
A couple
that is.
times.
So.
Yeah, I asked Hein if he wanted to come on on Boons and Conditions, because I'm like, hey, it seems like you got a good team. And
Yep.
honestly, our funnest matches are playing against you guys, so why don't you come on?
Thank you.
He's like, all right. I mean, they're doing some crazy things that I think are help changing the meta up a bit. They're trying different things, which is a lot more than other people are doing. Other people are like, copying team builds and, just trying to... They're not really doing their own thing, and I feel like Impossible Odds is a good team doing their own thing.
Thanks for not running 100 Blades, right?
Oh, I've tried it. I've done it.
It's alright, we're all a little guilty. We're all a little guilty. No, it's awesome,
Yeah.
like Zamoa said, it's awesome that when you find other good players, we want to bring them on, so this is a prime example. So appreciate you coming on the show.
Yes, thank you all.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So, I know Zamoa was talking about you guys, and I'm like, oh, you should give me their contact info, because I'd love to have them on, so, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, our famous news section, the game's out today. That's pretty much it.
Yes.
What's the news?
Finally.
I don't know. Like the game who had millions of dollars invested in it just got released that we've been waiting for. I mean, what are we supposed to say?
Oh, it's no big deal.
I
No
know,
big deal.
I guess we have some news related to BNC. We got some crazy feedback. I don't think I actually showed you yet, Looper, but we got an email on YouTube, and I copy and pasted it to Microsoft Word. It was over 4 pages long. He's like, I really like the show, and this is what you guys should do. Here's a new segment idea, blah, blah, blah. Like, totally kick butt feedback. And there's some other feedback, of course, that we get from Twitter and stuff, but I just want to, shout out that guy. I won't say his name, but 4 pages in Microsoft Word. Can you believe that? It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
We get some cool fan mail, and we definitely want that to keep coming, so.
Yeah, so appreciate it. This show, I think I said on Twitter a bunch, it's going to be shorter because these guys want to get back to the matches.
Yes.
And you guys watching, if you're watching live, probably want to get back to playing as well, or maybe you're looking on your second screen and you're failing your team. I don't do that. What else? We're going to be doing casted matches again. We had some really good luck with Q-Strike and some other folks shoutcasting, and some of the previous co-hosts and guests on the show, we're going to have them do that with us soon, so be on the lookout. So we need your crew to give us good footage, by the way. That's part of the pact we made. That
is what we plan on doing.
That we made, you remember? Okay.
Yes. It will keep coming, don't worry.
The blood?
We'll
No.
The blood pact. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember.
We have some requirements. I mean, it's pretty much what you would expect from a high-end competitive scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's, HD, multiple points of view, just showcasing teamwork, and obviously AC brings that. Possible Odds, from what AC has said, does that. Our previous guests, VVV, Super Squad, all those guys, that's why we have them on the show. So.
Good games with all of them.
What else is exciting? Razer. Did you guys see the Razer news by chance?
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Get that sponsorships.
My bad.
No, go.
That's really good news. I mean, already getting people into the esports side of it, so not much else to say besides that. Just good.
I think this is the most esports support a game has had at launch, which is an MMO has had at launch, which is really strong.
Like, it's pretty crazy.
It's awesome.
It's great for the game.
Yeah. We'll have it in the show notes for those listening. Basically, Chris Mitchell, the global esports manager at Razer, tweeted, "Yes, I've been getting some questions lately whether we'll be sponsoring any Guild Wars 2 teams. The answer is yes, caps lock. So stay tuned." So that's, like I said, awesome news for the game. That was before release a couple days ago. So, well, focus of the show today. We're just going to go over state of the structured PvP at release. I think we have some kind words and some other words as well. Obviously, we all love the game. We're making a podcast. We're Skyping. We're doing matches. We're practicing comps and builds. We like the game. That's established. So when we go into detail, we're not ranting. We're critiquing.
Yeah, and we'll try to keep it a little bit short. We'll try to keep it short, like we were saying before. I know everyone wants to get back into the game, or you're watching other people stream who are like streaming content. I heard someone saying that they'll stop watching Inverse to watch this. So thank you so much. We love the support. So tonight we're just going to be talking over the classes, but we're going to keep it short and kind of do like, a 3-minute just little profession rundown and see how they're doing in the meta that we've had right now. So we'll start off with Elementalist, and Zmoe, you've, I'm sure, got some words for that specifically. Well, you've been playing a lot of Guardian too, so.
Oh wow! Hold on. Yes, I started playing Elementalist, and in our current comp, we needed a super strong Guardian player. So I'm like, I like Guardian a lot too, so I'll swap to that for now and polish it up. We like to have our people proficient at more than one class, so I'm probably gonna stick with Elementalist and Guardian for now. Probably pick up a secret third one. I'll be practicing and bust out in lands and surprise everyone.
Yeah,
those are gonna be my primary two. Elementalist. Here's the thing about Elementalist that people need to understand is the skill floor on it. The amount of skill that you need to be decent is far higher than other classes. So you're going to have to push yourself at a base level to just be going faster than the other people, being more situationally aware, and landing all your abilities. It is, if not the fastest class in the game, then tied for it, and you have to be on your toes at all times. Another thing people are thinking is, hey, I'm the jack of all trades. I should be able to do everything and just be a total monster at it, or at least, decent at everything. But that's not really the case. You have to still specialize yourself. You can provide a lot of passive support, but you have to focus your build in a way that gives you enough defense to actually do your job. That's the Elementalist's biggest weakness is defense. So you need to counteract that with traits. You need to counteract that with maybe some toughness on your gear, unless you're running full glass cannon and your team supports it. That's the big thing, is you have to know your role that you're playing in a team fight and adhere to it. If you're saying, I'm going to take this support Ellie and go play in a DPS role, that's not really going to work. Your kill time's going to be way too slow, and you're just going to eventually be beaten down. Or if you take a DPS Ellie into a team fight, you're probably going to get focused first and get destroyed. That's where the team support comes in.
Do you think that's happening with like a lot of classes? That's something that can kind of affect all of the classes we're going to be talking, or professions I should say, that we're going to be talking about today? Or do you think that's only specifically to the Elementalists?
A lot of that is what I said is global, right? Just knowing your role and how to best use it. Elementalist is in a tricky spot right now because it's good. I wouldn't say it's S tier, like top of the class right now, but it's not bad. It's very good. If I could critique ANET's development of the class a bit, I think the arcane trait line, the passive effect that reduces your attunement swaps, is way too powerful. But it's also way too necessary for how the class operates and is currently balanced. Like, you need to have at least 20 arcane for the class not to feel like a sluggish POS. So what I'd like to see is them just give that attunement swap passively and give some other sort of passive bonus on the arcane tree, so I actually have a choice when building my spec. Because no matter my spec, I'm using at least 20 points in arcane, and usually I'm also spending 20 points in water because it's just too good. I need that defense when I'm playing Ellie. So I only really have 30 points to play with, and that's not really much choice.
Yeah, you've hit the spot,
right.
really. Like, Ellie can... it really comes down to the role you're playing, like you said, and you build the class, or build the playstyle to the role you need to fulfill your team. And the Ellie can do everything. Like, you hit it perfect.
All right, so let's move on. We have engineer as our
Quick
next.
show.
As our next profession
Engineer.
here.
Who wants to tackle that? I bet Hein does.
Yeah. Engineer's good. Engineer's good. I mean, they can play condition damage and power. I've seen the rifle power pretty recently, actually, since launch. It's been good. And the perma swiftness is just ridiculous, man. You can the mobility you get from it it's really good for roaming. Like, if you play the roaming role with the NG, you can get around the map wherever you want. Also, though, the thing people don't notice is if you trade into, or actually, people have noticed it, but if you trade into the flamethrower, auto stability, 100%.
So cheesy.
It's cheesy. It's cheesy.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of other teams are running it.
They got rid of
I mean, we
warrior
haven't run
stability.
it recently. We haven't run it recently, but
Mhm.
you can get it. You can get
Yeah.
it. It is cheesy. I'll give you that.
We personally aren't running it because we think it's... Well, we are running other things that are very good, but that it just doesn't seem right at all. Like, basically
I mean-
free guaranteed stomps. Ugh. I don't know. And we'll get around it. It allows Airho to pack something else in that place, which is a little more useful for him in more situations. And, like, yeah, he doesn't have to worry about stomping most of the time. We build our comp to support him and, well, to support everyone. But, yeah, we keep everyone else's builds in mind whenever we're forming a team comp.
Oh, I see. Yeah. The other thing that NG has good is that, for stomping wise, while we're on topic, that utility that shrinks them.
Yeah.
That works like a charm. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
The,
I don't know what the
for
cooldown
audience.
is. I don't play NG, but I just know that gets me a lot.
What's that ability
Or
do?
it ticks me off. I think it's called Elixir S. It shrinks you, and you're basically invulnerable to everything.
Yeah, you can do that with a... there's going to be a fat pro tip drop. You can start the stomp, and a lot of invulnerabilities, you can hit wall mid-stomp and just get the stomp off.
Ooh, secret fat too.
So true.
Yeah, like
For
Mist Form, Ellie Focus 5.
Yep.
Wow.
Those are two examples. And yeah, you can hit your stability ability mid-stomp. Make sure you get it off.
So what do they need to do the engineer right now? Is that a concern, the stability one? Is that something you'd change? The cheese
I
is strong.
personally don't know enough about the NG to make a good call on what they should do with it, but I just know they can fulfill a bunch of roles for a team comp.
Okay.
I think what they were saying is that the flamethrower one was the one that needed some nerfing more so than the
Oh, yeah,
Elixir
yeah,
S.
that's what I was saying.
It
But
is.
let's move on to
It's
the next
ridiculous.
one. Guardian.
Oh
So
boy.
Zamoa, you've been switching over to Guardian, which wasn't
Mhm.
really your main previously. So
Well, Guardian's like close to my heart as far as playstyle goes. I like the tanky guy that can provide support to his team. And I thought I was going to play Guardian at first, but then I fell in love with the Elementalist. But now I'm back to Guardian. Why is that? Great point defense. If I'm playing correctly, I can just cover a lot of ground that you wouldn't really think is possible in a Guardian spec. And I also do a lot of damage, which you also wouldn't think is possible in the Guardian spec. So a lot of times, it'll break down to a 1v1 scenario, and if I was a standard tank Guardian, I would just not be able to kill the guy. Now, I
You do
can
damage.
yes, I can win a lot of my 1v1s, and I can actually consistently help in team fights even if no one needs support. And yeah, the best way to heal someone is to kill the other guy that's hurting him.
Yes.
Be very,
Yes.
very angry.
Can they fill the roamer role now?
No.
No movements. No.
You can swap in staff to get swiftness sometime, but you're not really a roamer. You're more of a point defense guy and a team fight badass.
Yep.
I've gotten some sick book heals so far where I just come into a team fight that's already underway. I come from defending my point to like where the huge team fight's going on. I'm like, popping book now, AoE days, complete heal in 3, 2,
That book
1.
is just... It's
we're
not
just
OP.
like,
It's
it's
just
fucking awesome.
It's just awesome. It is.
Yeah, it's you
because
can
the cast.
counter it.
You can. You just have to get him down when he starts popping it.
So
And-
we do have one question in chat that's like, Guardians overpowered, or do I just suck? So
Yeah, the one-handed Guardians though, man. My teammate Reddick's been running it. The damage I've noticed is substantial.
Is that crit heavy, right?
Yeah.
You get 15% bonus crit damage from a tier 3 Radiance trait.
Yep.
Not bonus crit damage, crit chance. So you can actually run something that doesn't have a lot of crit chance for an amulet. Like I'm currently running a soldier amulet.
And you can still get the crit damage with it.
Yep. Yeah. I'm into the crit damage
chance.
line,
My bad.
and I'm showing like 40% crit chance. That's awesome.
That's really.
I know, without speccing into precision, it's kind of ridiculous. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Guardians OP in most aspects. I mean, they're just really good. They're just really good.
all right, general consensus: Guardians are good. So you probably want to
Yes.
have one in your 5v5.
Yes.
Let's move on to Mesmer. If one of you guys want to take that.
I've been noticing a lot of Mesmer on Kylo because of that utility spell.
Yeah.
Explain it,
Teleports
Lucy.
you.
Oh.
We won't talk about Portal Insta Treb repair.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's not that good.
I
Oh, my bad. You got it.
I would say that Portal is not the problem in that regard. I would say it's more so the Treb repair kit spawning instantly that is bad. It needs to have a delay on it. Whenever you kill the Treb, it needs to stay down for a while. Right now, our Mesmer can get the Treb back up in
2 seconds.
about 15 seconds max. Like, it is obscene. He drops an entrance portal on his trebuchet. He runs over the repair kit, picks it up, drops exit portal. He ports back over, insta repair. Like, it's really cheesy. Really.
It is really cheesy. The one way to stop it though is you just out v1 the Mesmer and don't kill the Treb.
Well,
And then
how's the profession doing overall though? Because obviously in Beta Weekend 1, 2, and 3 they were pretty weak sauce. So how are they doing now? They got some buffs. What do you guys think?
Beta
about
Weekend
those?
1 they were OP. Beta
Well.
Weekend 2 they got mega nerfed. But
Well, they're bugs, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Beta Weekend 1, their pets were hitting for like
Yeah, the diversion
4K
spike
in like a second. It was ridiculous. They hit like 1K, and you're dead. You're like, okay, I don't know what just killed me, but
That null field though, that utility that strips all boons from enemies and grants. Does it grant boons to your allies too? I'm not sure, but that can be used.
It removes conditions from your allies.
Yeah, that's right. If you pop that when they say to counter like an elite that gives you like 3 boons, or anybody you just see someone with mass boons, you just drop that down, strip them right away.
And they're instantly sad.
Yep. It can be used very effectively. Mesmers, they're good. They're really good on Kylo. I just don't know about the other maps yet. I haven't seen. I don't know if.
We've been running a Mesmer full time because right now, actually, we consider, well, me personally, I consider 2 classes to be really powerful and stand out above the rest, and that would be Mesmer and Thief. Mesmer Phantasm damage, some of them is extremely high, and if you slot the Signet, that makes them more survivable. They're pretty survivable too, and
they can take some damage.
they have. It seems in a lot of fights they're. Whenever I'm going up against one, I'm like, what the hell hit me? And every time, it's a Phantasm hitting me for 5+ K on a toughness build.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the Phantasms are hitting way too hard, and they're like playing the game for the Mesmer. The Mesmer just has to spawn them and run around. He can be defensive while he's doing this. You know, he doesn't have to focus on attacking, which is pretty messed up.
Yeah. Mesmer is just really good 1v1.
Yeah.
Really good.
And even like 1v2, they can pull it off sometimes, and it's ridiculous.
So they're in a pretty good spot right now overall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. They are
Alright.
definitely powerful.
so let's appease Lukava. I don't know if I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong, but he's been following our stream, and I know he's been following AC streams for quite a bit of time. But he's here for some Necromancer feedback. So what do you guys think about Necromancer right now? I think James has got this.
The Necro, where do I start?
That's the thing with the Necro. What do you talk? There's too much. I already told Tit Gallus I'd talk about it a little bit later, but you guys were the guests. Like,
Yeah. I've seen
Well,
good
we were
power.
talking for a while about how, like, our previous talk about necromancers was like they kind of needed some love. So
Yes.
I've seen good necro builds from defensive, playing a defensive role, power build, and condition. They're all pretty viable right now. The one thing, actually not the one thing, the Death Shroud is really good. If you spec into, or the utility Blood is Power, 20%, what is it, Life Siphon? You can, I mean, you have to, Necro is kind of like the Ellie in my opinion. You have to play it really well.
Yeah.
You have to, it's a high skill cap in my opinion, but it can be used in a lot of different rules, and that's why I think it's still viable. But we've been messing around with it, but
what do you guys
it
run
just
with
depends
it
on your team
currently?
count.
Are you running as like a power? Like, what's the one your Necro plays heavily?
Yeah, Reddick was playing. He was playing power or condition actually with staff.
Okay.
The Chillbanes and all that stuff. I think he was running Axe Scepter or something offhand. Not sure exactly, but
yeah, Scepter is really popular with that too. But Axe can be really good.
Yeah, it's good, but the Necros, I can't talk too much about them. I don't know that much yet. Not my class.
I'd love to get proven wrong, but I feel like Necromancer. We've just been hurting to try to get it in our team comp. We are not feeling the synergy with other classes. We feel like whenever we go up against one, we're just like, focus on Necro. Oh, he's dead. Like,
you can't strike him down if you CC him. Yeah, because he doesn't.
Especially at the start of a fight when he has no Death Shroud energy. It's like, okay, he's super easy.
Yeah. I like to target Necros too.
He has no, really good defensive cooldowns outside of Death Shroud.
I would say he's the weakest profession after Thief and Mesmer getting buffed. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
But I don't think it's that big of a gap. It's not incredibly terrible. If I was to give all the professions a grade right now, none of them are below a B.
What would you give a Necro?
A B.
Oh, my bad. I heard that wrong.
Oh, someone in is that Riddick in chat? I'm assuming that's Riddick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really quick, last night we were doing tourneys with some of the AC people, and we ran against 4 Necromancers and a Warrior, and I just want to say,
really,
it was hilarious.
It's just fun.
They pop out tons of wells.
What were they?
I don't know. Like sometimes they'd pop multiple lich forms, and we're just like, oh god, just a bunch of liches floating around. It was like the match of the night.
That would be cool. Or all of them going pet build and just pets everywhere. I mean, you just AE them down, but it would look awesome.
Yeah.
It does look awesome. We tried it. We tried it for a couple tourneys. It's just really fun. You just steamroll through teams. Like I remember Forest, we just ran 4 to their side and just took all of them out.
Smart ones will just AE those down. Pull out your great sword, pull out some AEs.
But you have to really focus and like target through all the minions and actually get the Necro targeted.
Oh, it was Venom Thief.
It's hard to target
right.
them,
I lied. It was Venom Thief. Yeah.
And it's got to be not condition damage because they'll just keep taking that off and
Necro. That's the one good thing Necros have is condition removal.
Okay. Well, let's advance. What?
Yeah, we got some Ranger.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we'll talk about sharks. No, I'm just kidding. Rangers.
Yes. Finally.
He's like, finally.
Yes. Yeah, no, I play Ranger. I play Ranger and Warrior, kind of. But right now, I've been running Ranger with... since launch, actually. Or pre-purchase launch. They buffed the short bow. Double the attack speed on it. So you can actually run power on it now. And it used to not work because short bow is just weak. It used to be, but now with the double attack speed, you have.
Really? I thought short bow was not that weak. I used short bow all the time already before.
Before the patch, before this update, it was kind of weak.
It was more of like.
It was more of a support item.
Yeah.
I always used it for support. I didn't really use it as like I'm going to use this all the time for damage or anything like that.
I'd say utility. It was more of a utility weapon.
It was definitely a utility weapon, but now
that's
now
what I'm able to.
Now I'm able to spec into full power, obviously with defense, but that you can just QZ and you just go to town with the attack speed and it just rips people. I got some pretty good footage of it, but also the other good thing with the Ranger is I like it because you can spec into power, and the 10 tree on vitality gives you if if you're getting spiked down, basically, you get 5 seconds of protection. So it helps you out a lot. But yeah, like this video, I was running the Power Ranger in this one with my team running the minion. Oh man, this is good stuff.
Oh
but
man, look how many minions there are.
Yeah,
yeah. For those not listening to audio one, we're showing footage of his Ranger. It's pretty ridiculous.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, in about 5 seconds here, we're about to just see them down. But I also like the Ranger because the muddy terrain, man. If you get the survival recharge, it's immobilize, and then I run a sword warhorn in the offhand, and it works very well because the warhorn helps your teammates. Obviously, gives buffs for all allies.
Warhorn's so good.
Warhorn's amazing.
So is Axe not as good now?
Yeah, they decreased the crit damage from 33 to 10 on the trait. It's still viable, but the sword you can pump out more damage with QZ if you get on top of them, and you get two evades with it, so it's better for 1v1.
Are they still solid though? Even despite the nerfs and the short bow buff, is it still a good profession?
The Axe? Oh, the Ranger?
Just overall, yeah.
It can definitely work. You just have to. I wouldn't say build around it. I mean, they can fulfill a bunch because they can roam. I think they're particularly good at roaming because you come in and get your damage down and then go out, and then you have the warhorn speed to roam. But
so something we haven't discussed yet is the pets. What do you think? What do you think's the best pets to have now?
Oh, that's a good question actually. I like that. It's kind of interesting. I've been debating. I've been running the Stalker with the Chill, as you can see right here, but since you don't have the one downside to this build is you only have one interrupt, which is the 5 on the short bow. So I'm trying out the what is it? The Fear Dog. Yeah, Fear Dog. The thing is,
don't troll me, bro. Not the Fear Dog.
Yes.
Oh,
it's hard to use. It is hard to use. You hear me out here. The pet abilities are hard to use. You just have to set them up right, basically. Because the one thing I wish they'd fix with the pet is if you're moving and you hit your F2 ability, it cancels it on the pet, and you have to wait 5 more seconds for it to go through. Like they're bugged a little bit in that aspect, which kind of weakens it a little bit. But I mean, I'm still messing around with pets, but the spider's still good, and the hyena that spawns the 2 is really good. You can mix and match them. It just depends what you're trying to get out of through the build. But I like running the spider with the power because you get more CC and a stun and an immobilize, and then dog can switch. But I'm trying out the fear right now, but nothing's official. But
all right, we won't quote you on it later.
I just remember this Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
He trolled me so hard when I was on my Guardian. I got mad. He waited till I was almost done with my stomp. He dazed me.
Yeah.
And then I went back. I was like, okay, his daze is down. I'm gonna stomp. And then he feared me with his dog. I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? And then I'm tangled up a little bit, and I go back to him, and I get dazed again. And I'm like, oh my god. I get him down on the 4th stomp attempt, but I mean, it's the fear dog is good.
Yeah, it is. It is really good. That's the other reason why I kept thinking about it. I was like, you know what? It's really weak with only 1 daze, so the down state phase is really bad on the Ranger. So then I thought about trying the dog out, and I'm still testing it right now. But other than that, I mean, you can still run Condition Ranger. It's still viable. Spirit Ranger is still great. They're still a great class. Still a great class right now. You can play them anywhere.
They're no Necro. All right, anyway. What's next? I forget my ABCs.
I think Thief is on.
That's right.
Is our next. Yeah. So. What's your guys' take on
wants to
Thief?
touch that? Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. They're just ridiculous.
Heartseeker. Nerf them. Anyone who saw my Twitter last night I kind of nerd raged. I'm sorry, tweets.
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry. It was
fine.
Look at the chat. There they go.
Heartseeker. There you go.
Getting them riled up. Heartseeker.
I mean, just the fact that you can spam, like, the 5k hit is just annoying, man. It's just the mass CC stun. You just can't. And then the Venoms with the Thieves, you just can't stop it. You're just done.
We'll break down the problem with Thief. It's two abilities, Thieves Guild
Yep.
and Poison Sharing.
Yep.
Those are broken, straight
Thieves
up.
Guild is really strong.
And whenever you give them your poisons, what up? I heard you.
You pop the Thief Fleet, you win the 1v1.
Yep.
90% of the time. It's guaranteed.
Unless the person can really out tank it and just be a super badass, you are going to drop that guy.
You're dead.
That has to be like the
quick,
Thieves'
too.
first game. It's like this has to be your first game, and you have to be experienced in your profession, and maybe you'll live. How terrible is that?
Thieves are in a good place right now. So if you're playing Thief, definitely be happy. Some stuff might be changed. Or I hope at least.
I'm super glad that they're viable, because every beta weekend I'm like, they're not viable. They're not viable. They still suck. And now they're in a good spot. Brokenly good.
Brokenly.
Yeah, they were at a point where it was like one build was the only build, and everyone didn't want to use it because it was so cheesy and like super overpowered. And then there was some times where there was just no build that was good. And it's good to see them out there.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I see you in sound. We understand you went through pain, but you don't deserve this kind of power. So
Yeah.
It's a bit ridiculous.
He's a good thief, though. He's a good thief. He deserves some love.
I'd like to see them like reduce the duration maybe on Thieves Guild so they stay up for a shorter amount, and rethink poison sharing. It's really, really strong.
The Venoms are just... I think reducing the duration of them would help a lot too, because at the beginning you could just pop it on your teammates and they'll get it right at the beginning.
Oh, the duration that they stay up for?
They stay up,
Yeah, but like maybe you only have a 5-second window to get them off or something.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
That would make a big difference, because sharing wouldn't be as viable.
A little less crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be as cheesy. It'd still be viable.
Exactly.
Like a great thief will still be able to make it work really well.
Because in your team fights you can still get it off, but you can't give it to your teammates. They run to the other point and still get all your shot.
Silly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But
well,
who knows if we have the power
we're
to do
happy
it.
on the thief. I know that now we're on to the one that Phalor I can't wait for, which is Warrior.
Yeah.
Oh, Warrior.
I fell in love with the Warrior again, but I'll let these guys take care of it for now. I'll get my word in later.
I mean, Warrior is still... It's still... I don't know. You still have the Great Sword. It's still amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The Hammer can be viable in team fights with all the CC. But other than that, I haven't seen much. To be honest. If you have, let me know. I haven't seen much besides the Great.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of experimentation with Warrior. It's more classes need to have actual trait choices like Warrior, because when you're building out, you're like, damn, I wish I could take like all the traits in this trait line. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen with any other class.
It's kind of a problem almost, like with Warrior. You're like,
I'm like, I wish I had that problem when I'm on my Ellie, you know? I'm just really sad about that. But I'd say Warrior is a very solid A+ class right now. They're not S tier, but they are freaking super good. Like,
hopefully
you
not
probably
hit
won't
S.
win in your comp.
That way they'll get nerfed. Just stay at A+. Stay at Ryu level. Just they'll never nerf Ryu.
Don't change him. Don't change him.
That's a really good analogy. They are the Ryu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love fighting games. Okay, so I need to. Here we go. I'm gonna pick the Warrior as my class I talk about for a second. I fell in love with the longbow and sword build. There's a few videos out there of people using it. I kind of used it in beta weekend too, and I started using it again, and it's awesome because you ideally have enough adrenaline that you do F1 longbow, giant AE fire, whoop-de-doo. You either longbow 5 to immobilize them, or you switch to your shortbow right away. Depends on what your cooldowns are and such. But basically, charge in there, lock them down, immobilize, whatever, get in their face. But because you charge through shield bash or you leap through savage leap, you have a leap finisher. That means you just made your own combo field. You have a fire shield around you. There's tons of fire damage. It's going to be like 7 or 8 seconds of fire damage, and I think the build has 1100 condition damage. But what's cool is that you're using Ravager, Rampager, I forget. It has power and precision and condition damage. I forget the amulet. I think Quark was saying it earlier for me because I couldn't remember. But you also have power, so your sword's hitting really heavily, and then you apply bleed. So those bleeds, you basically get up to 15 stacks because you're using your sword finisher after you charge in there. You have burns, and you have just raw power. And most classes, unless they're a tanky warrior or guardian, will die. It's pretty sweet. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Are you running the shield? Oh, my bad. Are you
I
running
just
the
want to
shield?
ask this one question that he was
yeah.
asking before, because Zamoa had said S-Class, and I want to just clarify that for people that
yeah.
don't end up actually watching, because he did explain it in chat to them while you guys were discussing this other conversation.
Oh, let's see.
But you want to go over that, Zamoa, just so people who are watching now can know?
Yeah, whenever I say like S rated, that's just higher than A. That's the highest you can possibly be. Extremely stupid good.
It's
Like-
it's the competitive scene. That's their lingo,
Yeah.
basically. Fighting games and such.
hmm
You want to be S-Class.
Yeah, which means there's really no equal at that point, and people or things that are equal are just also disgustingly good.
Yeah.
Is the highest echelon of good or the highest echelon of play is S class.
If you ever play a game that a character's pretty much broken or everyone's playing it, that's S-Class. So... Okay.
All right, Hein, you can go ahead and ask your question again. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to
you're good,
interrupt
you're
you.
good. No, were you running a short shield with the longbow?
Yeah. That way you have 2 leaps. You have Savage Leap for that. You have your shield, and let's say you don't kill them. Like let's say they are a tanky guardian, and they will be bleeding and burning really heavily. Just bust out your shield as soon as they start going offensive.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
No, I've been testing the longbow. I've been trying to find a way to use it because I like the burning, and it does do decent damage too.
Yeah, I use something that's really, for those who are going to YouTube this, I might make a video, but look at Ira's. Is that how you pronounce his name? Ayra Swag. He's a gladiator in WoW. He runs a very similar build to mine, and you'll see it in action. He has like 4 videos with it. So, shout out to him.
Definitely.
He made something unique. Like, everyone else is running 100 blades.
Yeah.
The only other unique person I see is pretty much Keto from AC. He has a really good combo. It's just very solid, really balanced. Like, yeah, I'm glad people are changing, the meta. So.
Yep.
So I guess we'll go on to
good.
our final topic before we do our viewer Q&A stuff, and we're going to talk about some maps and how wonderful sharks are and tournament play.
Oh,
Gross.
gosh.
So, how much do you guys want sharks in your tournament play?
No.
If they are, it's terrible to say, but that's just, I might quit. Like, obviously, it's just, it can't
Are
happen.
you guys leaving games that are at that map for hot join?
I never play it. Yeah, I never play it.
I don't join it. I sort by map name and I go on other maps.
Meat.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just not good. Like, you can't have, you're changing too much with the water. Like, it's just, I don't like it. That's all. Like, I don't have much else to say.
One thing I don't like about the tournament map rotation right now is how it's always the static rotation. Forest, Faux Fire, Kylo. So you're going to run into more good teams on Faux Fire and a lot more on Kylo. It's annoying and frustrating in my opinion. Like, I don't want to just, have to practice Kylo. That's basically what I do.
I've been thinking the same thing.
Yeah, whenever I go in the pubs, I'm like, well, better practice some Kylo. Like, it's not really an option. And, I wish it was more interesting. Like just randomize the order. That'd be great.
Yep.
I think Tick has a good question. Who has lots of good questions? Thanks, Tick. You're a wonderful supporter. Would you guys play if they got rid of the sharks?
Probably not still, because I don't like the fact of having water. It's just...
So what about water deters you guys from playing on that map? Like, maybe is it just the water itself or the weapons that are in the water are maybe not so balanced? Because they haven't really tested a lot of that in structured PvP, whereas the other weapons they have. Or do you think it's more so just the location of the water being where it is? Or like, what is it? Is it level? Or is it more like systems, mechanics, and weaponry?
I think it's having a combination of both, water and land, because you're having to build. You're going to have some players going water, and then they come out and their build could be completely different outside of the water. You have to spec into one way, and then you go into the water, and it's ineffective in the water. Like, I just don't agree with it.
I'll tell you, my longbow build doesn't work well in the water, because shooting a longbow is really difficult, and the game won't work.
Yeah.
What frustrates me is they have this super cool boat right in the middle of the map, and I'm like,
Nothing's on it.
Give me more reasons to go in that boat.
Yeah.
It's a really cool
Well, they have
environment.
the cannon. Don't
Like
they have
that
the cannon on there?
The inside of that boat is so small. Like, that just creates such a different
Yeah,
fight
I actually
than
went to
any
the boat
other.
first. That's the first thing I did. I was like, oh, there has to be cool stuff in here. I bet that's where the main fights are. And I got in there and I chilled for like 3 minutes. I was like,
What's happening? What's going on?
That's my first time there.
I haven't been inside the boat since launch, I think, because they didn't really put anything in it. There's like some elixir you can drink for something cool, but it doesn't last nearly long enough to actually care about it. Ugh. This makes me sad. I want to go in the boat. I want to be a pirate, damn it.
I don't mind them having the map, just don't use it in competitive. That's all I'm asking. But we'll see. We'll see if it's in their automated tournaments or whatever. I just hope not.
Oh man, well, wrapping up the state of the game, because again, it's a quick episode. We want to have you guys get back to your matches. Things are still being formed, and we've covered it all in the last 2 episodes. If you haven't seen those or listened to them, go check them out. We go about 15-20 minutes on each profession and what they do in Structure P, like how they actually execute everything. So check those out. But do you guys have any final words about the actual state of the game? Are you good, happy overall? I would hope, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's a gimme, but I gotta ask.
Yeah.
After bashing that map.
No, other than that map, the game's not perfect. That's a bad word to say, but it's really good and it's fun. Like that's what makes it's great. It's in a great state, right?
Yeah, I was concerned about balance at first because I'm like, a lot of the classes are really strong, and usually that's a bad idea to balance PvP, is just make a lot of people super overpowered, but it seems to work out right now. But you just have to know a lot about the classes and what they're gonna do on you, so that you can properly counter or try to counter.
Or run away. If
And it's pretty good right now though. Like it's not bad. Obviously, there's gonna be some balance patches, and we're gonna get some tweaks. But
I agree completely. It's
damn good
at a pretty
launch.
good state.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
It's running really smooth.
Downtimes,
It's running really smooth.
And I know this is a PvP podcast, and you guys can chime in, but PvE, man, PvE is pretty crazy. It's amazing. Like, I like it. I like the PvE. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but
well,
Oh, come on, we can still talk about PvE. We're not like haters.
Yeah, I'm not a hater.
We're just primarily structured PvP news. So about teams, but I think the PvE, they'll continue to progress that as well.
Yeah.
So.
Some guy hit 80 like 2 days ago, right?
Yeah. Our
it's crazy.
buddy, and I'll link him this video, but Mad Visual, who helped kind of sponsor us or gave us a lot of love on Twitter, like our first couple weeks and shows. He had 80 like 12 hours ago, and like Guild Wars, the Twitter account that tweeted, I think. So good for him. Good job. You.
Yeah, I used to be that person. Like Zemo and I, in previous games, we were always like the first to max level, so we know how hard that can be. And sometimes we'd be playing in sessions, but it gets nuts. So.
It does.
All right. Well. Let's end it there. Again, we're going to have shoutcasts, so send us your footage, use a contact form. Obviously, just do like what Zamoa did and Leperza. Like, if they see a good player, like Hein, tell us about it. Let's bring them on the show, and let's do the shoutcasts and stuff. So, it's all about community. I'll say it every episode, but I'm going to cut it off there this time.
Yeah, for sure. Contact us, find us on guildwars2bnc.com. You can find us at guildwars2bnc on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and then on Twitch TV. We're right here, so be sure to follow us so that we can get you better quality streams and get a partnership with Twitch here. We super duper appreciate it, and I know that these guys have some shout outs that they can do. Oh wait, they're down below me now. So.
Yeah, they're down over there.
Yeah, I'm like,
so plug away, sir. You have a website, I heard.
Yes, we actually just got a website up. It's team-io.com. We're working on detailed guides, so if anybody's new to the game, it's great to look at. Also, follow our live streams, Twitch TV, Hein6 for me, and all my teammate streams are on it too. But and also. You're probably not watching, but if you hacked my teammate's account, you will be found. And we need to practice. But other than that, everything's good. Thanks for having me, though.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a good one. We'll have more stuff in the show notes, and see you next week.